To most 23-year-olds, to get up close and personal with a supercar is definitely a pipe dream. But this is Zach. He's 23 years old and he's actually got 75 of them at his house.
Well, to be fair, I saw your content early on and I thought it'd be quite cool to get you down and show your viewers around the garage and show that there are collections in the UK that's got variety.
Am I right in thinking you've got some Lamborghinis? Because I can see one here.
We've got 5.
You got 5 Lambos?
We do.
Okay, now what about Ferraris?
I've only got 2 of them.
You've only got 2 of those?
Yeah.
Formula 1 cars maybe?
Got a couple of those.
Something about a hypercar or a mega car or something?
Yeah, we got a mega car.
Yeah, I think it's about time we stop waffling and take the viewers inside, guys. Come on, this is Zach's garage.
Well,
Wow.
welcome to the garage.
Yeah, so I don't even know where to start. Ferraris, Mercedes, Countach. I can name a Countach.
We have variety here, that's for
Okay.
sure. We've got everything from a 1903 car all the way to the world's fastest car, which is
Now that's a
pretty
big
different.
statement. That's a
It
big
is.
statement. So I reckon you should take us around through your massive collection and show us the ones that are important to you,
Yep.
the ones that you think the viewers as car enthusiasts should know about, and maybe show us something that's a little bit unique. But you have said that there's something at the end of the video that Shmee didn't actually get to see. So something that you've built with your dad, and it's a little bit of a man den, man cave,
Yeah.
car enthusiast haven. So that I do want to know about, and I'm sure they do too.
George, why are you getting in this when there's a Koenigsegg right behind you?
No, I mean, fair point. I've never sat in a Ferrari before.
Yeah, but you've probably never sat in a Koenigsegg.
No, but they would have commented and been like, you've seen a Ferrari, but you've never sat in one, you've lost the opportunity. Nah, that's bad manners. How do I shut this door? Like that. Let's go and have a look at the Koenigsegg. As I walk towards one of the most exciting cars in Zach's garage's collection, you might have seen I've just walked past the 488 Pista. Now this Ferrari is absolutely stunning, but unfortunately we're not going to be playing with it today. So I'm going to be putting that back in my pocket and bringing attention to this, the key to the Koenigsegg Regera. Now you might have noticed that this is very similar in style and looks to the Koenigsegg Agera R, which you'll remember from the Need for Speed movies, where the actor from Breaking Bad actually raced against 3 of them and one of them sadly crashed. Now what makes this so exciting, aside to the key that I'm going to mention in a minute, is firstly, 1,500 horsepower, loads of carbon fibre, £3 million price tag, and it's also the fastest road car to go from 0 to 400 kilometers per hour. Now what makes this key so exciting is it's not only worth £15,000, but if I show you right here, there's a little ghost logo at the bottom, and if you press the ghost logo twice, 1, 2, this happens. In true Transformers style. Followed by the doors.
So in the Icon Room we have lots of different cars, but these two are quite special. We have the 300 SL Gullwing from 1955, and then we have its older brother, the SLS AMG. Now, this was, and sort of still is, known as the most iconic car in the world, second to maybe the Miura that is over there. Now, the Gullwing, or it's so-called the Gullwing because of its gullwing-shaped doors, was then replaced by this, the 6.3, which is actually a 6.2, but the 6.3 badge is put on there to show that it's from the 6.3 SEL, which is an old race car. But this, they came out with the gullwing doors, many similarities to the older car itself. It's a rather cool thing. Okay guys, so here's an extra part of the vlog. Whilst George is off doing something, I thought I'd show you something rather cool that hasn't been seen in the video. Check this out. We are going to the 300 SL. Look at this. Just through here. Look. You ever seen a car with that low mileage from the 1950s? I think not.
It's beautiful. It really is.
It really
beautiful.
is.
Now this car reminds me of, now there's quite a few movies that various cars like this have been on, but
Yes.
it reminds me of the DeLorean because it has
Yes,
the gullwing doors.
It
doesn't
does have the gullwing doors. The gullwing doors were quite a popular design because it was sort of like, it shows luxury. You can put gullwing doors on a Ford Fiesta and people are like, it's kind of cool.
You should get a DeLorean. I reckon you should
Or
get one
maybe you
next.
might have just stumbled across a car we're looking at buying in the near future.
I see. Okay. Now, regarding all the other cars in there,
Yes.
I recognise the Countach straight away from that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street. There we
He
go.
had a US spec 25th anniversary, which had a different front bumper. Apart from that, same car. Ours is right-hand drive, very special, very rare. The 25th anniversary was to celebrate 25 years of Lamborghini. This one is an arches and wing car, so it's got it's got everything, every option for the 25th anniversary car. You've got the rear airbox, you've got the extended arches, the ridiculously large wing, which actually wasn't a standard option from Lamborghini. They bolted it on in the car park before the car was delivered because it wasn't homologated. And then we actually have the Lamborghinis in date order. So we've got the 400 GT, which was the second production car Lamborghini ever made. They then came out with the Miura, which was the first true supercar. Then they did the Countach, and then their most popular V12, which was the Aventador, which is actually our latest Lamborghini. And there is one more, but that's not in this room.
Now, just quickly, am I right in thinking you actually provided cars for the Fast and Furious movies?
This was actually in Fast and Furious. This was in Fast 9. So that was a hell of an experience.
Amazing.
And it was John Cena's favourite car.
And that's why you're now friends with Martin Ford, who was also in it.
I won't say it, but yeah. Skipping through a few of them, this is a 365 GTC. The 365 GTB was the Daytona, the famous Ferrari Daytona. But this was effectively a Daytona, same engine, same gearbox, but they made drastic improvements. It has power steering, had air conditioning, and it is one of the greatest Grand Tourers I have ever driven, and it's still classed as one of the greatest Grand Tourers ever made. It's got a big V12, loads of torque, 5-speed gearbox, and it's just beautiful. It's a great restoration, and it's just enjoyable to drive.
It's a very lovely car. I did look in it earlier, and it is right up my street, so I really do like that. And I had no idea it existed until now.
And now you do. And then to your right, our first ever car. This was
Which is?
a 300 SC Cabriolet, one of only 49 in the world, built the same year the Gull Wing was, but this was to show companies like Rolls-Royce that Mercedes could build a car that was just as good. And actually, if you look at the fit and finish of this car, it was, if not better, than the Rolls-Royce that of the 50s. It was one of the first cars to feature fuel injection, which in German it has written on the back saying where it says something like Einspritzmotor. And then if we open it up, you can see here it's on a column shift. Now this is something that I can guarantee you would never have seen before. So you see this column here? You press the clutch down, you've got first, second, then you push it backwards, third and fourth. So it's a H pattern, but rotated and put vertical. So that's pretty
Amazing.
weird.
Now, am I right in thinking you've got another room down here?
We do. Should we go in there?
So, room number 2. Again, I have absolutely no idea what these cars are, but guys, I think you need to come and have a look at this. He's even got a Dalek down there.
This is an original Tom Baker Dalek from the Tom Baker series, and I'm sure a lot of your older viewers would have been terrified of this thing at the
No,
point.
I can imagine, yeah.
But all it is a paint roller, a sink plunger,
From B&Q.
from probably B&Q, and a whole load of MDF, but it also has an electric wheelchair, neons, and a whole combination to make it rather cool.
Now the
indeed.
head comes off, right?
Yeah, and it's one of only 2 that you can sit in and drive. So you can see the switches inside read lights, eye, and mic. Some of it isn't working because at the moment it's quite hard to maintain actually, because what's quite cool about this is the fact that you can speak and it has something that will automatically change your voice to sound like a Dalek. So just by saying the word exterminate, it sounds exactly like a Doctor Who Dalek.
So Zach, a 1929 Sunbeam twin cam.
Yes.
You both have to get through the passenger side
Yes,
straight
which
away.
was a common trend.
I am allowed to get in this one.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. But, you know, it works.
You're in.
I feel cool. I'm ready to pick up a lady from the 1920s, 1930s.
Yeah.
There's a little beep beep. Is it like a horn?
Well, it's got a squeezy horn. No, there's a squeezy horn there. Just squeeze it. Keep squeezing. There you go.
This is amazing. But as you rightly said, there's a lot more, I suppose, iconic cars in here. I mean, I see the Aston Martin, but that safety car I want to go and have a look at. So
The
can you show
safety
us that?
car is, yeah, let's do that. This is the thing that I want to see you get into, the safety car.
I'm not getting into that.
I guarantee you are.
Now, tell us about this car. I see your Zach's_garage Instagram.
Absolutely. The reason I put that there is because it was on Britain's Got Talent, and the last person to drive this was David Williams.
David Williams drove this.
did.
That's amazing.
Now, you've automatically done that wrong. You're not going to stand a chance getting in there. So, if you step up, tuck your right leg in under the steering column. That's the one. Then get in, and you'll be amazed how much space you have.
David Williams is a big guy too.
He is. Lift your foot that, you got it.
I'd never be able to use these pedals.
And there you go. Not as bad as you thought, right?
Just sounds almost like I'm in a dustbin.
And the good thing is that once you shut the door,
You
it's
can't get out.
actually it's pretty stable as well. I mean, I'd say it's.
I thought I was gonna die.
I'd say that's why we call it the safety car.
Right, so what's next on the list then, Zach?
Should we go look at some Formula One cars?
Yes.
Let's do it. So we've got the Ferrari 250 GT Buono, Gran Turismo Buono being the style of body. We have a 964 Turbo S Lichtbau Wishes car, one of very few in the world, and it's actually delivery mileage worth about £1.5 million, so that's pretty crazy. We have a Chevron B15 race car, Formula 3 car, and that's me ready. I mean, there's not much room. The only thing we've got to adjust is the steering column position, but yeah, this car was actually featured in Rush in the opening scene, so that's pretty cool, so you can spot it. XK120 Competition Roadster, Caterham 620R, which we may be doing some more content with. Then we've got the Formula 3 Renault Twizy, or known as the Twizy F1, Formula 3 wheels, rear wing, rear skirts, the whole 9 yards, it's just nuts. And then the real Formula 1 cars over here. We've got the 89 Thierry Bouston Williams car, and the 2004 Nick Hadfield and Mark Webber car. Absolutely ludicrous. This was the screaming V10 era. If you haven't seen it before,
Now, your dad was telling me earlier about the rear double windows on the Corvette over there, so next to the Shelby. Do you want to talk to us about those?
yeah, so this is a 1963 Corvette Stingray, as you can probably tell by the number plate, which is a real number plate, rather cool. This is I believe it's a 328 engine, so it's the baby engine for the Corvette, but what makes this special...
2 gears, right?
Yeah, it's only 2 gears. But what makes this special is it is a split screen Corvette. So that means in the rear, they had these 2 rear windows split in the middle, and it was sort of the most beautiful out of them all, which I think we can all agree. This is actually a resto mod, so it was restored, but also modified at the same time. So it's on uprated running gear, bigger wheels and tyres, but original engine gearbox and original chassis. So it's been touched, but lightly.
It really is beautiful. I'm sure the camera doesn't do it justice, but that right there, I'm going to use a really cringy word, is baller as hell.
It is.
Really,
it is.
really nice.
100%. There's no, I mean, going around London in that doesn't look cooler.
Now, this almost looked like a Cobra initially.
It is a Cobra.
Okay, so what can you tell us about this?
So this is a 427 SC Cobra 50th anniversary car. So it was built by Shelby, American, to show what would happen if they built the Cobra today. So it's an original AC Cobra, original big Cobra, as they called them, the 427s. And they effectively changed certain things about it to make it if they built the Cobra today. So it's on better rear axles, better gearbox, significantly more power. And there was a celebrity who owned one of the 50th anniversary cars, which was Dan Bilzerian. So
amazing.
Pretty cool.
Now, I do actually see a Mini over there. Is that like number 5 chassis or something
number
similar?
3.
Number
So
3.
that's number 3 of the 1275s. But this was one, it was a barn find. We did a really cool restoration on it. And everything you see is fully original. The only thing that isn't original is the seat covers, but they were made by the Mini Historic Company. So everything about it is as close as you'd ever get to the perfect Mini Cooper.
It's really, really nice, man. But what is this thing behind us? Is that a Cortina?
Cortina, this is a Lotus Cortina. So this was the special one. You had the Ford Cortina and then the Lotus Cortina. This was when Lotus and Ford teamed up to make a super saloon sort of thing. This one is actually having an engine rebuild. It's something we do quite often to the cars. We will, if there's something wrong with it, if it smokes a bit, if there's something we want to touch up, often we'll actually take the engine out and just do a bit of investigation, because we have a full-time workshop here, which means we can do that, which is nice. So the one thing you'll find in garages, especially in collections, is everyone has their own little space. Now, we wanted an area where, you know, loads of guys could get together, chat about cars, have drinks, smoke cigars, and so we made this, the mezzanine, which I think is rather cool.
Zach, this is so nice.
Different, isn't it? So you've got all the necessities: dishwasher, coffee machine, humidor, you know, a nice bottle of
Something
something.
expensive.
And then some nice sofas and just a nice place to chill and chat.
Now, my favourite thing about this mezzanine is if we look down here, you get a really nice view of the Cobra, the Corvette, the Mini, the Lotus Cortina, the Twizy, the Caterham. I can't suggest enough to the viewers that they go and check out your social media. They go and look at your YouTube channel. Your videos are improving every single time you post them. You've got some amazing friends, amazing contacts in the YouTube world. So this, of any, is a guy in the car scene you need to be following. And maybe you'll get yourself an invite here in the future. But Zach, you, sir, are an absolute hero. I can't thank you enough for inviting us. But mark my words, we're going to come back soon and we are going to show them the rest of what Zach's garage has to offer. Maybe even take the Polaris out for a spin, take some of the supercars out for a spin, and get GCM in his first supercar, and maybe I'll even drive one. So Zach, thank you so much. We're going to have to do a left-handed shake. You're an absolute legend. Thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you next time. Peace. You said we need to be shown what's in the other doors, so to speak. So what have you got hiding in there then?
So in here we have our workshop, which I will give you guys a little run through. Then we have the Jaguar room, and then we have the MG room, and then we have the tractor room.
Amazing.
So we've got a few more
I can't
rooms
wait.
to go. For the people who want to know about the history of Lamborghini, the way they started making cars is not because Mr. Lamborghini bought a Ferrari and said the clutch was bad. Mr. Lamborghini went to Mr. Ferrari after driving his Ferrari, went the clutch isn't very good, went to take it apart, found Lamborghini tractor bits in one of the Ferraris.